Have you been thinking about starting an Instagram account, but keep telling yourself you'll do it when you have a better camera, more followers, or more confidence? If so, you're not alone. One of the biggest myths I hear from professional women is that they have to be perfect before they become visible. They believe they need the perfect brand, the perfect website, or the perfect strategy before they can share their expertise. But the truth is, perfection is often just procrastination wearing a different outfit. If you're a physician, executive, entrepreneur, or woman in leadership, your knowledge is valuable today, not 6 months from now after another certification or another course. Research on imposter syndrome by psychologist Dr. Valerie Young has shown that many high achieving women consistently underestimate their expertise. They often delay speaking up because they believe they need to know more before they are qualified to teach others. Meanwhile, someone with less experience but more willingness to share consistently builds trust, credibility, and influence. The question isn't whether you're ready, the question is whether you're willing to let people benefit from what you already know. Today, I want to walk you through exactly how to start an Instagram account strategically in 2026 without becoming overwhelmed. Let's begin by changing how we think about Instagram. Many people still think Instagram is simply a place for influencers posting vacation photos or perfectly styled kitchens. That isn't what it has become. Instagram has evolved into one of the largest search engines for expertise. People are looking for physicians, attorneys, coaches, consultants, executives, and business owners. Before they hire someone, invite them to speak, or recommend them for a leadership opportunity, they often look them up online. Your online presence has become part of your professional reputation. Think about your own behavior. How often have you Googled someone before a meeting? How often have you looked at someone's LinkedIn or Instagram before deciding whether to follow them or work with them? Most of us do it without thinking. Your audience does exactly the same thing. Now, here's the encouraging part. Research from Edelman's Trust Barometer consistently shows that people place tremendous value on knowledgeable experts who communicate authentically. They aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for someone who understands their challenges and offers practical solutions. That's good news because authenticity is something every one of us can offer. One mistake I see repeatedly is that women try to appeal to everyone. They'll say, I help anyone who wants to improve. That sounds nice, but it isn't memorable. Instead, ask yourself one question. Who do I most enjoy helping? Maybe you're passionate about helping women physicians transition into leadership. Perhaps you love helping healthcare executives navigate difficult conversations. Maybe your focus is physician entrepreneurship or burnout recovery. The more specific you become, the easier your content becomes to create because you're speaking directly to one person instead of trying to reach everyone. Here's an exercise I recommend. Take out a notebook and describe your ideal audience. How old are they? What position do they hold? What keeps them awake at night? What problems are they trying to solve? What questions do they ask repeatedly? When you understand your audience deeply, content ideas become almost endless. Next, let's talk about your profile. Your Instagram profile is your digital handshake. Someone should immediately understand three things. Who are you? Who do you help? Why should they follow you? Avoid vague statements. Instead of saying, helping people succeed, try something much more specific like helping women leaders communicate with confidence and navigate difficult workplace conversations. Specificity builds trust. Now let's move to content because this is where most people get stuck. Many new creators wake up every morning asking themselves, what should I post today? That approach leads to frustration. Instead, organize your content into 4 simple categories: educational posts, personal stories, thought leadership, community conversations. Educational posts solve problems. For example, you might explain 3 phrases emotionally intelligent leaders avoid during difficult conversations, or perhaps you teach 5 common negotiation mistakes physicians make. These posts establish your expertise. Personal stories create connection. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your own journey. For example, you might talk about the first difficult conversation you had as a medical director. You could describe what you were feeling, what went wrong, and what you learned. Stories make information memorable. Neuroscientist Dr. Paul Zach's research has demonstrated that compelling stories increase oxytocin, a hormone associated with trust and empathy. In other words, stories help people remember your message while also helping them feel connected to you. Thought leadership is where you share your perspective. Instead of simply summarizing an article or repeating what everyone else is saying, explain what you believe. Perhaps you disagree with common advice in your industry. Share why. Support your position with research, your experience, and practical examples. People don't remember people who repeat information. They remember people who offer thoughtful perspectives. Finally, community posts invite conversation. Ask your audience questions. What leadership lesson took you the longest to learn? What workplace habit do you wish leaders would stop doing? Meaningful conversations build stronger communities than simply collecting likes. Now let's talk about the algorithm because people worry about it far too much. Many people believe Instagram rewards people with the biggest following. That's simply not true. Instagram rewards content that people find valuable. Meta has explained that signals such as watch time, saves, shares, comments, and direct messages play an important role in determining how content is distributed. Think about your own behavior again. When do you save a post? Usually because it taught you something useful. When do you send a post to a colleague? Usually because you thought, this would help someone. That's exactly the kind of content you should create. Instead of asking, will this go viral? Ask yourself, will someone save this? That simple shift changes everything. Now I'd like to give you a practical weekly system. On Monday, create one educational carousel. On Tuesday, record one short reel answering a frequently asked question. On Wednesday, tell a personal leadership story. On Thursday, ask your audience a thoughtful question. On Friday, discuss one interesting research study, book, podcast, or industry trend. That's 5 valuable pieces of content without needing to reinvent yourself every day. Another strategy that saves tremendous time is repurposing. One blog article can become multiple Instagram posts. One podcast episode can become several short videos. One webinar can become dozens of educational quotes and carousels. You don't need more ideas. You simply need to use your existing ideas in multiple formats. Finally, let's redefine success. Too many people judge themselves by follower count, but followers don't pay the bills. Relationships do. Influence does. Trust does. A professional with 2,000 highly engaged followers who consistently receives speaking invitations, coaching inquiries, and business opportunities is often far more successful than someone with 100,000 disengaged followers. Instead of asking, how many followers did I gain this week? Ask yourself these questions. How many people saved my content? How many meaningful conversations did I have? How many direct messages did I receive? How many people downloaded my free resource? How many people told me my content helped them? Those are the metrics that truly matter. If you're thinking about starting an Instagram account, don't wait until everything is perfect. Start before you're ready. Learn as you go. Show up consistently. Serve your audience generously. Leadership isn't about having all the answers. Leadership is about being willing to share what you've learned so someone else's journey becomes a little easier. And remember this, someone is waiting for the exact knowledge, encouragement, and perspective that only you can provide. Don't keep them waiting. Read my full article at powerofpeacefulness.com. Make sure to like, subscribe, and grab my free leadership workbook, 5 Steps to Communicate with Calm, Clarity, and Confidence at powerofpeacefulness.com. Until next time, take a deep breath, embrace the present moment, and keep walking your path to peace.